Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Fatback 4 Daily. This show is sponsored by Paddy Power, a bookies, a website, and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly, and remember to do so with Paddy Power. Right, that's that out of the way. Gibbo and Chris Pajak have joined me tonight. There is 5 days to go until Liverpool return to a football pitch in the quest for a title, in the first title in 30 years. Chris, how are you, my man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm excited to be back. I think you're a fucking madman doing shit at 10 o'clock at night, by the way.
It's the only time I'm available.
Absolutely insane, Gav.
Well, listen, I have to be honest with you. Between 9 and 10, I practice me chipping in preparation for golf during the week. So that takes precedence over everything. And if Liverpool decide to play at 9 o'clock next week, I won't be watching. I have some serious practice to be doing, all right? And FSG should probably be fucked out if they do play at 9 o'clock, let's be honest. John, how are you?
I'm really well, mate. Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it is a funny time to do a pod. Like I said to my missus, I've got to jump on a podcast, and she was like, "You for like America? Do you know what I mean?" Like she thought I was like doing LFC San Diego or something. I was like, "Oh no, it's just some Irish things."
Yeah. We just like being up late and drinking, so it works. It works for all of us. Lads, listen, we're going to get through as much as we can tonight. The comments are open in the chat on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, all that mess, and don't be doing super chats. Do not try pay me to read out a comment. It's I'm against it, fully against it. So don't try to do that. But lads, we're quite rightly looking forward to what's about to happen, and that's Liverpool claiming the first title in 30 years, and that all starts. Well, I suppose it probably starts on tomorrow night when City play, but it really starts on Sunday. But I wanted to look back because during the time of football's been off, I've just gone back, and Liverpool FC have been brilliant by putting out extended highlights of nearly every game, and you just something you catch, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it's been. But it's been a ridiculous season, and I know that sounds like a very obvious thing to say, but when you're looking forward to what we're about to do, looking back, you're going, Jesus, this is unreal. Chris, we win the European Cup last June in Madrid, and we go through the summer and we don't sign anybody, and there's all sorts going on, and why aren't we doing this and why aren't we doing that? When it came around to this league season in particular, did you see this? Did you ever think it would be this good? Like, I'm presuming. No, you didn't, did you?
Fuck? No, did a fuck. I mean, I remember we were lucky enough, John as well, we're in Boston, and we were lucky enough to sit down with Jurgen, and I remember saying to him, how do you improve on last year? And I remember him basically like laughing, and I thought, oh, that's a nervous laugh, that. How fucking wrong was I? It wasn't a nervous laugh, it was a laugh of confidence, like, come on, because, you're right, we didn't sign anyone, and people are obviously disappointed, and we all know that because we all get swept up into, the excitement of a transfer and all that type of stuff. But we're not football men, like, you know what I mean? We talk about football, we don't understand it like Klopp understands it, or these lads and stuff. And we always seem to think that a player is of his ability. We always seem to forget, I think anyway, I do, and maybe I won't speak for you, the players can get better and teams can get better with patience, you know what I mean, and good coaching and stuff like that. It's not all like, you don't just win the transfer window like I've seen some fans say and all that type of stuff. It's bollocks. Like, it's the hard work it's done on the training ground, and the confidence of the European Cup and everything else. That's what they built on. It gave them confidence getting that trophy. We always said, you get one trophy in the bag and then you can go on and do more. That's what they've done. They've proved it.
It's been ridiculous because when you look at, I was on a show earlier on and they were talking about, is this the greatest Liverpool side you've seen? And I was saying, well, look, you can't write off 97 points, John. 97 points is a ridiculous points total. It just happens that 98 done it against us, and it's probably the best league win we've seen in a long time from City, all things being fair. 98 points under that pressure is phenomenal, as much as our 97 was. But John, when you're turning around and you're coming back to support Liverpool and for another season in August 2019, are you thinking, we'll be 29 games in and we'll only have dropped 5 points, it'll be fine?
No chance, but that just shows the strength of this team and the amazing mindset that they've got, really, and they just approach every new challenge with relish. And I think that's what Jurgen's done so well, is that he's set them new goals every time they reach one, and that's why it's never looked like it's gone stale. It's never looked like it didn't matter, sorry, that we didn't sign any players last summer. And normally you think, oh, you just want someone in to freshen it up almost as much as anything, regardless of adding quality. But every managerial book tells you that's what you need to do, or you need to fresh faces. Really, like teams have got lifespans and all that, but they're just sort of making a mockery of it all, really. And every time people think they can't get any better, they do. It's a phenomenal football team. They're a phenomenal group of players, and yeah, can't wait to watch them again.
Chris, it's going to be strange watching them again. Like in the sense that you won't be in the ground, or you won't be around the ground doing content like you do. Can you see that affecting us at all, or do you just think the mentality of this side is just that good that it doesn't matter if they play in a local park, it doesn't matter where we play, we just go and do the job?
Yeah, listen, I'm going to try and word it right, because not that they'll have an advantage because they're not playing in front of us, but they'll have an advantage because the other team isn't playing in front of the crowd. So, for example, I'll try and expand that a little bit more. From what I've seen of the Bundesliga, the better teams do better when there's no crowds. So there's no ebb and flow, there's no momentum, the crowds aren't into it. So I started thinking about the derby. I'm like, what's kept us from scoring since Mane's late winner in 16-17 at Goodison? Because it ain't the fucking side, they're shit. It's partly the crowd, it's the closeness of the crowd, it's everything else. Like, we've got a side there that they don't need the crowd. They feed off it and they get better for it, but they certainly don't need the crowd. They're just technically a better football team. It's why I think we've had the hoodoo over Everton such good for years anyway, is that when the blood and thunder goes out of football, which is what the referees and everything's been doing over the last 15 years, Everton haven't won a derby. It's been 10 years. Why? Because the referees are a little bit more lenient now. It's played on footballing terms. We've got the better footballers. We're just a better side. And I think Liverpool will just continue, to be honest. I don't see it making a difference. I mean, the first load of Bundesliga games that I saw, I was surprised by how quiet the players were. I watched fucking training for Liverpool. They were louder than any of the Bundesliga sides that I saw. And they were training. Like, the full of leaders everywhere on that pitch. And people might just now look at and go, bloody hell, Henderson does shout a lot, doesn't he? You can see he's an actual leader. Because I think if you're not in the ground and you're not sat near the front, you probably don't get that from the television. So I'm interested to see it from that perspective. Sorry for waffling.
No, you probably will see it from that perspective, but they're talking about playing crowd noises in and doing all sorts of stuff like that. I don't know how that's going to work. I think they did try it in the Bundesliga, didn't they? And people seem to like it. John, going back to the COVID-19 stuff, it's 3 months since... Yeah, give or take, it is 3 months since Liverpool have played a game. At any stage during that, John, were you worried that A, they might null and void this, or B, they just won't get the opportunity to finish this season?
Yeah, I was, just because it's sort of natural to worry slightly that because it's obviously the complete unknown. We didn't know what's going to happen. I'll admire anyone who had 100% complete faith that the season was going to start up again, because even though all the noises you were hearing were that we're gonna get up and running. I'm just laughing there. I was DMing Peter Moore and everything. Just got Peter trying your best. You know what I mean? Like, that's a desperate man, isn't it? Like, I'm not. You know what? I'm not even told anyone that, and I've decided to do it live on a podcast. Like,
and after how many messages did he block your number, John?
He just said no. I haven't got his phone number. He's not that.
What did he say, John? What did you exactly say?
Come on.
I just went I think it was the night before the first Cobra meeting or whatever the fuck they have. Do you know what I mean? The 20 of them, and I was just like, you need to sort this, Pete, or I'm going to be struggling. If you can't get this footy back up, we win the league. And I think he just said he'd try his best. I think he was just being polite.
And when Karen Brady said she wanted the whole league scrapped, do you reckon Peter Moore jumped up and just shouted, "But John Gibbons"? Do you reckon that's what swung him?
Listen, if you don't, you're gonna have to ring Gibbo then.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable! But I was adamant the football will be finished. I just was when I looked at it from the point of view of money, because it all comes down to money at the end of the day. That's where I was, and people were like, when do you think it'll be back? I was like, definitely May 17th. I was only saying that because I had a flight booked to Liverpool and I was hoping that they'd swing it. I should have DM'd Peter Moore or you to pass on the message. But no, I did think it'd get done. I thought it might be sometime in June. So, and I stuck by that because I just felt that they're not taking £1 billion out of this game just like that. They're just not. Chris, were you like John? Were you DMing anybody in particular, or were you just sitting there going, "Look, what will be"?
No, I wasn't DMing anyone. I always thought that I didn't know if we'd finish the season, but I always thought that we'd win the title. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't because I always thought that like 25 points is just too much. Like there's no way you can slice this pie where Liverpool don't come out as league winners. So but I didn't know whether the season would be finished or not. I was a bit more like you. I'm a bit of a pessimist at heart, I think. And I was just the same. I was like, there's no way these fat capitalist bastards let that money slide off the table. There's just no way. And certainly when the Bundesliga started playing, I was like, the Premier League will be sitting there going, look at the viewing figures, they've broken records that first weekend. We need to get our shit sorted right here, right now, because we've got a chance to capture every other market who isn't watching Premier League football, who hasn't got sport on, whether it be baseball, basketball, whatever. Yeah. I just thought the fat greedy bastards would be having it, and that's obviously working in Liverpool's favour.
Yeah, like it was one of those, but when I just got massive amusement out of the Daily Mail on a daily basis. Our WhatsApp group was just constantly Daily Mail headlines like the balls are too sticky and all sorts of stuff, and we just thought that was great, and fair play to them. I don't know what their stance is now. I doubt they're still calling for it to be called off, but it was brilliant at the same time, even though it was depressing that we couldn't watch any football. Lads, you're both studio based. You are the two biggest Liverpool football club fan media thing going, and you're both Liverpool based. You're there. It's as simple as that.
I was laughing at the nice succinct way of saying what we are. I'm the same. I'm like, we're just kind of like a Liverpool media thing.
Yeah, you're a Liverpool media thing, which is a really big and good at it, and you're in Liverpool, which helps. But look, you're both studio based for the majority of your work. I know you do outside broadcasts for after games and stuff like that. But Gibbo, people that listen to the Anfield Wrap listen to stuff in studio, and I know you use your offices as well, different parts of your offices for different content. How difficult has it been? Because we spoke off air about it just doesn't flow the same, but how difficult has it been? And I suppose, how easy has it been to get people involved and keep them involved, in a way where I know it's an effort to go to a studio, but when you're at home, you're like, I could be watching the Vicar of Dibley instead of doing this.
Yeah, it's a good question. It in terms of making the content, it has been challenging, especially for the video team. And when we do audio and video now, and the podcast, it's a little bit easier. The video, it's just tricky because just whatever you do, it doesn't look as good as we're lucky where we are. We're in we're in Man Island. We're right on the waterfront. If it's a nice day, which it has been, hasn't it? Like, we've had some beautiful days. We'd be out there doing stuff, on the waterfront, and it's the best backdrop in the world. I'm sort of biased, but the Liverpool waterfront's incredible, and we're just there and we use it, whenever the wind allows us, and so. That's just not going to be as good as a couple of you, in a sort of situation like this. And so the video team, I really feel for. Podcast wise, it's a little bit easier because at least there's you're not having to worry about the visual element. But I've just found personally that the more people you add, the better. Sorry, the worse it gets. So if there's 3 of us now, it's just sort of about manageable, isn't it? 4, you're like, oh, you're doing okay. Any more, and it's just it's really, really tough. And you're either talking over each other or you're just sort of being a bit too polite, and it's tricky. And so much of what we do, and I know it's the case for all 3. Of us here, so much of what we do is about chemistry and about enjoying each other's company and about enjoying football, because football's meant to be a laugh. And you know, some podcasts haven't been told that, but football is meant to be enjoyable, and you know, it's a communal activity as well, isn't it? You know, whether if I didn't live in Liverpool and wasn't able to get to Anfield, I'd be going down to be near the supporters club and watching it all with them and doing that, because I think that is the right way to watch footy, and you know, it's the right way to live your life, really. And so I'm missing it. What I would say is, you know, on a sort of slight positive, is that we've sort of, you know, we've always been. We do stuff in person, and we've always tried to do interviews in person and stuff like that as well. And it has sort of opened up the opportunity to do a bit more in terms of one-on-one interviews. A few people who we might have not done over Skype, because we say, oh, we'll do it next time we're in London, and then it just doesn't get arranged because it's too hard or whatever. So I've done some interviews I've really enjoyed over Skype or over Zoom that I maybe wouldn't have done, you know, in normal circumstances. And so that's something to think about for the future. I think in terms of, you know, stuff like that, I think there is maybe more, maybe we've learned we can do it, but it's just really for sort of one-on-one stuff. Like we did, it's not out yet, a bit of an exclusive. We did Jamie Redknapp yesterday, and that's going out tomorrow. And, you know, I rung him and Skyped him and he'd forgotten it, and he was out walking the dog and all that. He was like, "Oh, just get back, you know." And then he did it in his kitchen, and that was great. And that's like, you know, when's Jamie Redknapp coming to our office? He's not, realistically, do you know what I mean? And so unless he gets a book out, and then they all want to come, don't they, Chris?
Yeah.
but you know, so stuff like that. So I think there has been, you know, a few sort of things to think about and things that we've learned and things that, okay, well, you can do that. That is possible. But by and large, it's just more of a laugh in person. And if you're not trying to have a laugh, then what are you doing it for?
Exactly. The laugh is the most important thing. Chris, you know, similar to John's situation, you know, audio, video, and, you know, broadcasts before and after games and stuff. Will you find it difficult now with, you know, I see your fan match reactions and stuff like that from the COP after games and stuff like that. How do you get around this sort of thing? Because it looks like it's going to be this season and possibly beyond, where we're not allowed into grounds, we're not allowed near grounds, we're not allowed to interact with other fans to a certain extent. How do you get around this sort of thing? And I'm probably asking you just so I can have an idea for myself and then claim it as my own.
I think we're all probably thinking the same thing, aren't we? Is, you know, that like everybody's sat at home watching the telly. Can you be a second screen for them? Can you be a watch along and all that type of stuff? And I know that I've watched a couple of the Wraps Bundesliga ones. I think they're really good. I know you are on Hotmic as well, Gav, and stuff like that. So I think everybody's probably thinking the same thing. It's how you approach that and how you do it that, you know, you hope will stand you apart. Equally, as me and John have discussed this so many times over the years, actually, is that the fucking, there's so many Liverpool fans, like, you know what I mean? You don't have to like all be sniping at each other and all that. You can get on and you can be mates, and you can, like, I've always said to John and that, like, and Neil from the Wrap, I'm like, there is a professional jealousy. Like, anyone who'll have watched my face when he said he's got Jamie Redknapp coming over, there was something inside me. You got fucking pissed off and like, fucking swat. We haven't got Jamie Redknapp coming up tomorrow. Like, you know, but that's just the way it is.
And he's seen his kitchen.
The best one of them, I'm going to wind Chris up here, is when we were sat in America and I showed him the Trent mural that we were doing, and it was just about to start, and I showed him the pictures, and he was like, "It's boss mates, and I made up for you for fucking hell, I'm fuming." So, like,
it's about, isn't it? You know what I mean? I think that's cool. Like, I mean, for me, like the Skype stuff, I like it to a point where about 35 minutes, and I don't know whether I've just got too short an attention span for it, but like I start looking around the room, and I would never do that in a conversation with
Start
people.
Opening DVDs behind you and reading them.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, okay, Sam, what's this bottle top like? So I just find it difficult in that regard, like, and you can't read people's body language, and it's a huge part of talking, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it absolutely is. But we all just have to try our best, don't we? Well, not me. I just keep turning up at 10 o'clock, and because golf is more important. But like, when we get back to it and we get back to the football, you know, and hopefully some of the restrictions are lifted in some way. I'm not saying fans back in grounds. I can't see that happening for quite a while, but hopefully, you know, back in studios and stuff like that, and we can get that going a little bit, because I think it is vitally important being in person. Like you've both said, being in person is brilliant. Like we find in our studio, most of it can't be broadcast, but it's great, you know, because you can say it and you don't have to worry about it, and then some fella will promise to edit out, and then you cross your fingers for about 8 hours until it actually gets released, and then you listen hoping that you haven't said anything and it's left in. But in studio it's much better, you know. Like me and Andy do like these chats every month where we just sit like this and we do chats, and they're great and we've great laugh, and Andy's completely weird and that's what makes it. But I find when we're in studio, me and Andy, so much more comes out. You know, now, as I said, it can't be used, but so much more comes out. And like you said, you get that vibe off someone and you know whether it's going well or you have to drag something back or something like that. But look, we hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next couple of months, things might get back to some sort of normality and we can all get back to what we usually do. But lads, look, the title, it's definitely the most important thing. And clinching the title, there's a lot of stuff going around about will Arsenal beat City? They won't.
No,
Arsenal don't beat anybody. And then we're looking at Everton, at Goodison, and then you have Palace, and then you're looking at City. But John, where do you think we clinch this? Or more importantly, where would you like to clinch it? I think I know the answer, but where would you like to clinch it?
Do you know what? I'd rather win at Palace, just because I think Goodison is Goodison, and it's the first game back, and it's the derby, and it'd be brilliant to win it. And it just sort of feels like it's getting too much if it's then the title decided as well. Like, what are we going to do for the rest of it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, like, because something's been taken away, hasn't it, with the fans not there. And, you know, even if, you know, I'd be at both these games coming up, but, you know, even if I wasn't, you know what I mean, you still got fans in the ground, even if it's not you. But I think, you know, something's been taken away. So I'm just thinking, you know, trying to make the most of what we've got ahead of us. I think for me, I know, like, I can see a few of the boys in the chat disagreeing and saying winning the title at Goodison, and, you know, you could skip them forever and stuff like that. And I sort of get that, but I just think that derby on Sunday, it's the first game back after the big break. It's a Merseyside derby. It's at Goodison, and all that. That's sort of enough for me, really, to get up for it and enjoy it. And then we beat them, and then we've got Palace to win the league, and then I get up for that as well. And it's just an exciting week, really. You know, we were sort of, you know, in this situation, really, where, you know, it's first world problems, really. Or where would you rather win it? It's a nice sort of problem to have. And obviously, like, if we end up winning at Goodison, then I'm not going to be moaning. But I just think, in terms of spreading the joy, I think I'm talking about here, spreading me joy over 2 games, and then going to City as champions, getting the Guard of Honour. And then yeah, they can just do what they want for the next 6. They can play Pajak for all I care.
Hey. I wouldn't.
Well, he wants it. I'd let you have a game. I'd be up for that.
Go ahead.
No problem.
Okay.
Jer Cahill reckons that the purple flares have sold out in Liverpool in the hope of a 0-0. That's quite possible. Chris Brack reckons that Everton would implode if we won the title at their ground. I think more so if their fans were in the ground. I think with nobody there, they could kind of go, well, we didn't really see it, did we? You know, they're all mad, aren't they? Chris, where would you like to win it? What's the perfect scenario for you? You can go anywhere with this. You can go with City losing in the last minute, or you know, you can do anything you like.
I think I'm not sure. So there's a social element to it all for me as well, isn't there? I think, you know, I've seen a lot of it online and stuff like that. Like, they're setting up Liverpool fans for a fall. About us gathering and breaking social distancing rules and all that type of shit. And so, if it's a Goodison or if it's at Anfield, I feel like we're going to get absolutely just absolutely fucking hammered, and people will go out. Like, and I know people will go out. I'm speaking to people this week, and it's over in their heads. And it was over when Cummins went and fucking did his thing up his jolly. And so I am a little bit concerned. So as much as I would like to win at Anfield and go and get the Guard of Honour, I'd also like to win it at City. if that's at all possible, like, and just do it there, and then
Yeah, it
maybe
is possible.
see Liverpool fans socially distanced spread on every bridge from Manchester to fucking Liverpool with their flares, like welcoming the team home or something like that, maybe.
We had an idea in Dublin where we'd it's a 20-kilometre restriction where you can move in Dublin, but the Phoenix Park is a massive park in Dublin, and we were thinking if we could get as many Liverpool fans that live within 20 kilometres of that to social distance in this park with red flares when they win the league. Again, that's probably going to lead us to being arrested. All we seem to do is come up with ideas where we get arrested, but that was an idea, and we don't know. Well, you see, the thing is, we just claim we didn't organise it.
Just draw some fucking circles on the floor and get every lad in there with a flare and get fucking Sky News with the fucking cameras like that, and everyone just there celebrating, fucking going absolutely mental in their own little circle. It would be fucking fantastic.
And them two lads that they shot into space 2 weeks ago will be able to see it from their gaff because they're up there and they'll be able to see it because it'll be red. I like the idea of Goodison. I like the idea of Man City though, but then it's dragging into 3 games and then the world will end. You know, we're never going to win this. This is dragging on too long. You know, it's been 8 days since we started playing football and we haven't won it. Something along them lines. So I'd have to go with. Mate,
if we've not won the league in 3 days, just get him out.
Fuck it. Yeah, forget it. There's no point. We should have null and voided it. It will be the opinion of many. But lads, look, the pubs aren't open. All right. That would have been, you know, I suppose when you win a game, you come out, you go to the pubs, you go down into the city centre, you go to the pubs, and you probably make a fortnight of it after the league is won. But they're not open. But John, if I was to give you one pub to be open after the Liverpool game where they clinched the title, and then one takeaway open to get some food on the way home, what would it be?
Well, our pub after the game is normally Motel in town, so I'd have to go for that. I mean, I probably should pick a bigger one, really, if we're only getting one open. But like Motel's been good to us after the games. It's on Fleet Street. It's a dive bar, and you know, it's just a bit of a takeover after the game. The Liverpool tunes are on, and it feels like everyone you know is in there, and it's a good laugh. So Motel. I mean, there's loads of good pubs around the ground, and I like sort of quite a lot of them. Just seeing that comment there. But Motel's sort of it's our gaff, and if it was open, I'd feel like I knew 80% of the people in there, and that's surely what you're after in a situation like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Motel is a place that the Daytrippers frequent on a regular basis when we're over as well, and John usually comes in and stays. I think you're the last man out. Do you lock the door in Motel most Saturday nights? I think you do.
We'll see.
Chris, what booze are you picking?
Well, I think it's gone now, but I think Sound would have probably been the place.
You know. I read something about it last week. Yeah,
I think they've just been emptying it out or something like that. So, and then probably. I do like to. It's a bit of a cliche between Liverpool fans, but I do like a bit of Pop World. Like, I do actually genuinely enjoy it. Like, so yeah, it's on. Like, and then the takeaway, it's pretty much fried chicken.
Okay.
Like, name your place, whatever. It's fried chicken for me. Like.
Yeah, I forgot that bit. I'm a fried chicken man as well. Nabsy's preference, but I'll dabble in a hot and tender. Don't you worry about that, Gav.
Yeah, can I have a breakfast before it instead of takeaway after?
Hey, do your rules, mate. You do what you want.
Yeah, so I'll have Shiraz.
What's on the breakfast, mate?
What?
I've had people say cucumber goes on a full English. So what's on your breakfast?
Fuck that. No.
I got saved in London. I went, what the fucking hell's this?
Yeah, I would have walked out. I'll have Shiraz on John Street as my breakfast place.
Yeah, okay, accept.
I'll have that. And can I take Motel followed by Alma de Cuba?
Fuck yeah, no. They're not letting you in Alma de Cuba, lad, after a couple of
I've been in there loads of times.
I know. I'm not saying you won't get in, but after winning the league and a couple of hours in Motel, lads, your shirt's everywhere.
No. Your shirt is everywhere. You do that sort of shit.
I
keep me short. No. I bring me short home me. It comes home me. It stays on my body.
I've never had a pint there. Alma de Cuba.
Oh, it's some shop. It's absolutely some shop.
I was christened there, mate.
Oh, wow.
It was the old Polish church.
Yeah, it was. That's right.
That fucking altar is where I was christened. I used to go there for Polish mass every fucking Sunday while I was a kid. So I'm not religious at all, but I can't go and have a beer there because I used to go to fucking church there, like. And
I'm going to campaign to get a plaque on the wall.
Yeah.
Chris Pajak was christened there.
Chris Pajak christened here.
I've been in.
Let's make it happen.
I've been in there and I've had a look around and they've gone, do you want a pint? I'm like, nah, you're all right. It doesn't feel right, like.
Everybody touching the plaque on the way in, a bit like the This Is Anfield sign. You have to touch the plaque on the way in at 2 a.m. But I am getting into Alma de Cuba. I think I am, John. I think I am. That's if we leave motel. You never know. We might stay. If most stewards on the decks, we'll be fine, I think. Lads, there's been a lot. The last thing I want to touch on before we go. So we always have to have some random questions on this show. It's the way it goes. So if anyone wants to throw them in for the last 5-10 minutes, absolutely throw them in. I'm not going to keep the lads too much longer because they think 10 o'clock is an absolute disgrace.
Is it because I said 35 minutes, by the way? He's like,
yes. Well, I'm at 32. I held your attention the last time we spoke about which is better, standard hula hoops or the joint hula hoops, and you went on a mad rant about them, which was great. But random questions.
Do as long as you want, mate. We've got a beer with all right. You do as long as you want.
Okay, all right. Set your alarms for 2 a.m. But throw the random questions in. These lads are really good at them. If you've listened to them before, they're really, really good at them. But lads, there's been a lot of hype around the Timo Werner last week, and I don't want to specifically go into that. But the reaction to it seems to be that we haven't signed one player, we've no money, we're never signing another player again. John, do people just need to relax a little bit?
I think it's hard because I think the fact that he's gone to Chelsea as well is tough. So I think if we were saying, look, we're not getting in this summer, and he was staying, I think the reaction would be different. You know, he's gone to Chelsea, so it's another English club getting him. They're spending Werner. I think people are in for a bit of a shock this summer. I don't think there's going to be a lot of money knocking around for anyone, really. You know, unless people can sell and unless someone who's owned by a sovereign state decides to throw a bit around it, and that causes a knock-on effect. I just think there's a lot of clubs, who are going to be sort of seeing what they've got. And look, if that's a summer where not much happens and everyone's sticking with what we've got, then we're in a better position than anyone else because we've got the best squad, they're a good age, and they're ready to go. And look, I'm looking forward to seeing more of our younger lads and more of, the players who we've signed recently. We haven't seen too much of, so I'm not too concerned. Look, and if everyone else was spending mad and there was concern about falling behind, I'd worry. But honestly, I just think it's going to be a quiet summer for most clubs, if not every club. So I just think we need to adjust to the new normal, if that's a phrase that doesn't make everyone throw up. Yeah, and see where everyone's at the end of the window. And I can't see there being sort of huge amounts, to be honest with you.
Chris, do you agree on that?
Yeah, I think John's right there. I think, I was speaking to Maddock the other week, David Maddock from the Mirror, and he was saying that like Liverpool stand to lose between 70 and 200 million quid because of COVID-19. And when you put that into perspective and you look at like maybe the likes of Shaqiri, Origi, maybe will have been on the out list, and a few of the other lads, obviously Lallana's going, but he signed a contract extension, Kleini's going, and all that type of stuff. They've probably paid about 50 million quid in wages since lockdown started, and there's no revenues coming in. So, it's all well and good shouting on Twitter into the void that Liverpool need to sign someone. But as John said, we're the best team in the world. We've got one of the best squads in the world. We've got one of the best managers in the world. And everybody would rather be in our position than right now, and that should tell you enough. The reason that I think Chelsea have gone and spent big, and maybe Manchester United, although I'm not quite so sure, is because you've got to seize opportunity where you can. Chelsea were probably 5 or 6 transfer windows behind challenging for the title. This could reduce that to 2 or 3.
Yeah.
By dipping into his own pocket, but they got there because of bad management, nothing else. And bad management is normally followed by more bad management. Liverpool have got good management, and the club's going to be here by the end of this pandemic, and that's the most important thing. And we're also not only that, we're going to have the best squad in the world.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think, whether a signing happens or doesn't happen, I think we need to relax. And I've said it many times. When we won the European Cup last summer, I was one that was looking for just a signing to strengthen, because I always feel like you should strengthen from a position of strength. But proved completely wrong by that fella that knows loads about that German fella that knows loads about football. And if he decides again, whether his hands are a little bit tied, because like you can say Jurgen Klopp's hands are tied without it being a slight at the owners. His hands are being tied because the club's hands are being tied. Like, I think the figure is closer to 90 million in wages. I think I've read somewhere, Chris. I think it's 35 million they may have to return, and it's about 9 million they've lost in gate revenue. So you're looking at 130 million quid at the end of the day. No matter how big football is, that's a colossal amount of money. But yeah, I think you're right. I think clubs may have to seize an opportunity where they won't not close the gap, but completely, but close it to an extent where they feel that maybe next year they can close a little bit more. And if we're in the same position as, I don't know, 17 other clubs in the Premier League, we'll be in the same position as them next year, and we'll all be healthier, but we'll have more spending power than most. So I think it's a very fair point. First random question is from Keith Plunker, and he says this: Katie Hopkins, Bob Hoskins, and Roy Hodgson, snog, marry, avoid. Who wants to go first?
You're having a fucking laugh.
I know, but I did. The first reaction to it was, "My God, that's brutal."
There is no way in hell I want to marry Roy Hodgson, but he's the fucking obvious marriage answer here.
He genuinely is.
Because can we just fuck off, Keith? No, that's just mean for a start.
You're so mean, Keith.
It's just ridiculous, mate. It's 10:30 at night, 20 to 11, and you're making me look at this. Look at those words. They're all horrible, all 6 of them. I'm not doing it now.
I bet you John has an answer. Come on, John.
I mean, I suppose if that situation, you'd marry Bob Hoskins. And just, I don't know. I bet he has a nice life. Do you know what I mean? And so shack up with Bob. Have a bit of a snog with Katie, but say what you want, because say what you want about her. At least she's filthy, you know what I mean? Like she, outdoors and all that. Does it in fields. So like slag it off all you want, but she's got form on that.
Yeah.
And then just avoid Roy Hodgson, and if possible, if I could avoid past Roy Hodgson as well, if that can be part of it, and he's never managed Liverpool Football Club or darkened our city's door, even better.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's very fair.
Owen Beck just said you couldn't marry Roy. He wouldn't be able to wipe his own arse in 5 years' time.
Fair.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he can now.
You got to think about these things.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe I should.
Dave's LFC chats asked, question: will Gibbo follow Chris and do a cooking channel? Are you doing a cooking channel?
Dabbled.
Yeah.
Well, Heaton's the cooking one in our lot, so it'll be Andy Heaton. The heater's on doing the cooking channel.
Very good, yeah.
Anyone's doing it. He is good, to be fair. Like, he eats late. He'd be just getting going after this podcast starting up. Is to fire up.
Does he not eat all day?
Oh no! He has breakfast about 2:00 in the afternoon, and then just pushes everything back. But so yeah, but I've been having a bit of go, in lockdown, like doing a lot more, and I'm enjoying it. And you surprise yourself, don't you, what you can do, and how long it takes as well. Like, you always in my head, I think, it's just easy to do that, but it's not really. So I hope I stick with it, cooking from fresh a little bit more and having a go. But no, not the cookery channel. It would just be me panicking, really, and go shit. On too long.
A few people have asked us here, because we discussed this a lot on shows, and it's air fryers.
What's that about?
Do you own an air fryer?
No, do a fuck. Do I look like I got where I am today by owning an air fryer, mate?
An air fryer is amazing.
Yeah,
I don't even know what it is.
It's basically so it's this unit. It's basically a unit, and you open this drawer on the unit, and you can put chips, sausages, whatever you want into it. You just close it, and it just cooks it for you. It just sits there. It's beautiful.
It's pretty much like an oven, John. That's what they're saying. That's how they're describing it to me.
Yeah.
They open this door. It's hot inside, right?
Well, yeah, well, it'll have to be, otherwise it won't be cooked.
Is it hot air?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a fucking oven, John, that sits on your countertop.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's a new
It's
world
amazing.
for me, lad. New world.
Go and get yourself an air fryer, and believe it or not, you can actually bake cakes in them. So there you go.
Like the oven. They are
Like an oven.
like an oven.
Yeah, but ovens are so last year. You know what I mean? They're so pre-COVID.
Like, we've all got ovens, but we need to sell them some stuff. We'll call it the air fryer.
It's absolutely amazing. Go and get one. Go and get one. Loads of people have asked about the air fryer because we have discussions. We update each other on what we cooked in them. I just do chips. I just peel potatoes and make chips, and I think it's great. It got me through a lot in tough times.
Fryer though, Gav?
I don't know.
Fryer, mate.
Like a deep fat fryer.
Yeah, like a real fryer.
Yeah, I think this is a healthier option. This air fryer, you see.
Oh no, it's absolutely healthier. But so's oven chips.
But oven chips aren't great. Name me a good oven chip.
I don't know any. I
No,
cook
you
chips.
see.
I cook chips in a fryer, mate. Call me traditional.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, look, I'm just letting you know, right? And when you do get one, and you realise everything is amazing there, I will accept your apology at any stage, all right? And I won't hold a grudge.
some of the comments are agreeing with me. Oksana says, never thought about it this way.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is just an oven. It's a con.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only does he lose attention span after 35 minutes, he gets very aggressive. Have you noticed that?
What's the 2 beers, mate?
It's only a thing. It's only a thing that sits on the counter. Like, it's not going to do anything to you. It's okay. Lads, there was one question earlier on, and I forgot to ask it during the football kind of talk. But and John, I'll come to you first while Chris calms down. What would you do if we had to go 3 months without football, but we were only 1 point clear in the Premier League? Would you just? You wouldn't get through that, would you? Because I wouldn't. 3 months waiting, sitting on a 1 point lead.
No, it'd be hard because it'd be agony, but also like we don't know what we're coming back to, so you don't know. Everyone's guessing now. Oh, this team will cope better because of this, that, and whatever. You don't know. You're almost starting again, aren't you? And it's so. I like our buffer, you know what I mean? I'm grateful for it because, it could be a bit mad when it comes back. There could be sort of unlikely results. I mean, Chris points out, he's right too, that the Bundesliga actually, what you've seen is the best teams won. In fact, I don't think Bayern Munich have dropped a point yet. They've won every game, but that's not to say that it would necessarily be the case in the sort of Premier League and or the wheel sort of hit the ground running or anything. So, yeah, I'd be really worried in that scenario. Obviously, it'd be hell going through it, but then also, concerned about it coming back. But this way is nice, isn't it? It just feels like we're returning for our coronation, and that's a lovely feeling after 30 years.
Yeah, it is a lovely feeling. Chris, would you have survived 3 months sitting on a 1 point lead?
No chance, mate. I've not really survived this very well, to be honest with you. And we've had 25. You know what I mean? It's like. Like, as much as I give it, like before, I said that I thought that Liverpool would get the title, whatever, this season, I still had to switch off. I had to switch off for my own sanity's sake, and we were 25 points clear. Like there's no way with that 1 point lead I'm thinking about anything other than a null and void for the entire 3 months, or coming back. It's like you start thinking, well, who's got the best sports science team? Because what if you get them back a little bit fitter? And I would be an absolute mess, Gav.
Yeah, I think sitting on 1 point lead, I think my head would have went. I would have went through every possible scenario over the final 9 games to make us win it just about or lose it just about. I think I would have absolutely just been gone. Dylan O'Rourke asks, if you could fight any fictional character, who would it be and why? Whoever wants to go first can go first.
Fictional character.
See, I'm thinking about presumably you want to win. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, you don't want to.
Some of us might like it the other way.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it is a rare opportunity to fight someone from Street Fighter, I suppose, and just like imagine like going against like is it Gandalf who had like the stretchy legs? I mean, that'd be an experience, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, fictional character who did it dislike, or you know. Who didn't want to really sort of blow me piss and won't mind giving a dig to? I don't know. Have you got anyone, Chris?
Not yet, mate. No, I was listening to your answer rather than thinking about my own.
Thinking about fighting fellas from Street Fighter and getting battered.
Yeah, I'd fight anyone with a fucking air fryer, I think.
Yeah. What about, does the Milky Bar Kid count?
Hey.
Does the Milky Bar Kid count?
I think he was, I don't know. Why not? Yeah.
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to throw it out there for you.
Do you want to fight the Milky Bar? Why do you want to fight the Milky Bar Kid, Gav?
Just saying. John was saying the chance of winning. You're not losing to the Milky Bar Kid.
Feels like bullying a bit, though, doesn't it?
I'm just saying. Let me see. So, who are you fighting? Come on. Who are you giving a slap to?
Oh, it I used to sort of hate growing up. There must be some baddies on telly that you couldn't help but want to dig. Do you know what? Like when I was younger, I used to really get wound up by like, you know, things in soaps and have to remind yourself it's not real. You know, like them people who like see nasty Nick Cotton or something in the street and like spit at him, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Well, I had the potential to go that way. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, Nick Cotton, he was awful to his mum. I'll dig him.
Okay, Nick Cotton is a solid show.
I reckon I could take Banana Man.
Okay.
So I think I'd fight Banana Man just to be a superhero of some description. I think I could have him, you know.
Banana Man, I think you could. No problem.
Who are you taking, Gav?
The Milky Bar Kid.
Genuinely, what did he do to you? You just want to beat him?
He didn't do anything to me. No, he didn't do anything to me. I just think the chance of winning. If I had to go fictional character though, it has to be somebody like John says out of the soaps that just would do your head in. Alf Stewart out of Home and Away, please.
I'd fancy it against Alf as well, Gav. I reckon he could take him.
Yeah,
I reckon he could. The only thing is, you don't know what weapons that man will bring. That's the only thing I would say. He knows loads of stuff, and I think he bring loads of weapons with him. What order do you make a cup of tea in?
Are you making it in the cup, or because like I'm making it in a pot?
I'm gonna get a drink while Chris gets deep here.
Hold on, you're making tea in a pot. Oh yeah, okay. So if you cup of tea,
right? So you're making tea in a cup, right?
In a cup, yeah, for yourself.
Right. Okay. So the tea bag goes in, the hot water goes in. You take the tea bag out, you put the milk in. Done.
And sugar if you like sugar.
If you're a child, yeah, go for sugar.
If you're a child, have some sugar in your tea. That's amazing. That is unbelievable. Do you genuinely believe that? That's amazing. That's one of the best things I've ever heard.
Put some sugar in your tea.
Okay, John, be very careful. What order do you make your tea in? In a cup?
Tea bag in, water, good stir, milk last, and then, you know, whack that sugar in. I'm joking. But no, you've got to put the milk in second first. It just always ends up looking a bit weak if you tried the milk in first. I understand it because you're trying to save time. You're looking for something productive to do while the kettle's boiling. I get the mentality, but you've just got to hang on. You've got to stay strong and put it in last, or you just never get a decent colour out of it. You end up having a second bagger. That's what you end up doing.
But like milk first if you're making a pot of tea.
Okay.
Because it's brewed properly, and a pot of tea is well better than a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends how long you leave it there, though, isn't it? Because it can turn very, very strong.
Yeah, that's true.
Very, very.
I don't mind that though, as it gets a little bit stronger as you sort of ease yourself into the strength of tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad on pots of tea. I don't like teapots. I'm not a fan of teapots now. They never seem to pour for me. They seem to. The water just seems to go fucking everywhere.
You need to rethink your kitchen, Gav. Get rid of that air fryer thing. We'll get a nice little.
I'll buy a fancy teapot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick the air fryer on eBay tonight and go out and treat myself to a nice teapot, and then be a big kid and have 3 sugars, which is just absolutely amazing.
You've earned it, mate.
Okay. Retro One Limb asked a question earlier, and it said, "When we win the league, will we finally see those Pajak nudes?" I don't know what the fuck that's about. Have you promised to go nude?
No, but it's been a thing for years, and to be honest with you, it's been so long that I've forgotten how it all started.
Okay.
But people put hashtag Pajak nudes in all the time. I don't think they actually want to see Pajak nudes. I'm guessing they don't. Well, I hope they don't. They're going to be bitterly disappointed when they do. Like, you know, I'm married, like, and she doesn't like it. You know what I mean? So, what chances the average viewer got?
Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm still not over the sugar thing. I really am. I'm still not
sugar
over
in
it.
your tea, Gav?
Yeah. One
How
sugar.
many?
One.
One's okay. Like, what's the point in half a sugar? Like, just gives half. Really? Just fucking come on.
Half a sugar doesn't do anything.
When did you decide? Like, how did you get to half? Did you try 6/10 of a teaspoon? Did you set like what? Where did you even get there?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think like you're focusing on Gav's wrong drinks here. If you chocolate with his tea, wait till you find out what he drinks in a nightclub.
Oh, Malibu and Lucasade.
Malibu and Lucasade. That's what he ordered.
It's absolutely sensational.
But like, imagine you were a barman in a nightclub. And we've got lager, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Gav rocks up and asks for a Malibu and Lucasade.
Yeah, just give me the bottle of Lucasade and a load of Malibu. Craig Hannon loves it.
The bars
said it's revolutionary.
Did they only know Gav's coming?
Did the bars sell Lucasade, Gav?
Yeah, a lot of bars do. Yeah, some don't, and I just get a little bit upset and order a normal drink. But yeah, Malibu, try it, John. You've tried it.
I have tried it. It was nice, but
yeah, like, there you go.
Just, you know, I'm not knocking it as a drink, I suppose, but it was just quite a thing to witness.
Yeah. What do you mean you don't sell Lucasade? Yeah, that usually comes out quite a lot. But no, try it. I think it's good, and I'm sticking by that. Lads, I'm going to leave it there. 53 minutes is more than enough of your time to take. Before Chris has a go at me again over sugar air fryers. He's just attacked me.
I'm not having a go at you about sugar, mate. I'll have a go at you about the Malibu and Lucasade, though, because that's fucking insane.
Yeah, well, all I'm going to say is, all I'll ask is, go and get some Malibu, get some Lucasade, put it together, drink it, and come back to me.
Okay. Deal.
Okay. And I promise never to mention the air fryer again. Is that okay?
Do you know what was funny? I only went in so hard because A, it sounds ridiculous, and B, I saw everyone talking about it in the comments.
Yeah.
And I was like, there were so many people asking about the air fryer. I was like, these must love an air fryer, these.
Yeah.
So I just picked the opposite side of the fence, to be honest.
It all started because Keith of this parish tried to convince me one night that he could basically bake I think it was a chocolate gateau in an air fryer, and I thought it was ridiculous. So I went and bought an air fryer, and I'm going to try it, just to prove him wrong. People want me to video this, but look, I'm not doing that. I'm definitely not doing that. But I bought an air fryer just to see if I could bake a cake in it. But I've kept it because the chips are good. And every time I have a sugar in my tea now, I'm going to feel terrible and like a big kid. But look, what can you do? Lads.
I'm not sugar in my tea anymore. You've got to ask Gibbo the question.
Ask the question. Yes, sorry. Okay, I'll ask the question. So, Gibbo, this question gets asked to everybody that comes on for the first time on the show. And it's this. Very simple. You're on a building. It's 50 stories high. Okay? Flat roof. There's another building beside you, which is also 50 stories high on a flat roof. So they're both the same height, okay? You are running to jump from one building to the other. You have 11 miles per hour of wind helping you in that jump. We want to know what the biggest distance between those buildings are that you could jump. You can have a little incline on the building you're running from if you want. I think Chris wanted that. Did you, Chris?
I think I did. I think I need it. I know. I speed up going downhill, you see.
Now, Trev Downey said he could do 9.85 meters because that was it.
No fucking way.
Because he looked up the long jump record and just took a millimeter off for fairness. But I think most people have gone around 2 to 3 meters, which is what 6 to 9 feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 or 9 foot. I was figured I'm about 6 foot, and I could do longer than me, I reckon.
Yeah.
But like not much more. But then I was always going to say like 6 or 7 feet, but then I got a bit excited by Chris's velocity shout. So yeah, I'm going to say like, if my life depended on it, which it would, let's face it, I'd say 9.
9 feet.
Right.
3
Can I
meters.
ask a follow-up question, Gav?
Of course you can.
Are you going head first, or are you going to try and stick it with your feet, Gibbo?
I think I'm going to go feet and then see how I'm going, and then if I need it, I'm gonna tilt myself to think.
And listen,
start throwing me upper body forwards if I need it.
Yeah, one person we asked did want to know could he wear a cape, and we allowed him, but I don't think that would work. I don't think he thought it through. And the whole feet first is good because if you don't make it, you're falling to the ground with your face pointing up, so you're not going to see your death. It'll be fine, just soften the blow a little bit. Lads, that's definitely it. We've asked you about the question. Loads of people have asked, and Chris has jumped in and made sure it got asked because it's the law on this show when people come on for the first time. John, it's been an absolute pleasure, and when everything gets back to normal, we will definitely come over and see you soon. And Chris, yeah, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Fuck off.
Or he's falling asleep. He's just got a young kid, so he might just fall asleep, stood up.
I'm waiting for you to say something nice about Chris. You just said, John, it's a pleasure. I'll see you soon. And Chris,
yeah, well, I'm trying to make this sound nice on Chris, but I think he's being appalling on this show towards me. But look, we won't argue about it. No, lads, listen. When this gets back to normal, myself and a load of the lads, you know how it works, we'll be over to Liverpool to see you, to see loads of people. And look, hopefully it's Jurgen Klopp leading us around the parade of some sort, because that'll be the absolute business. It's been a pleasure. Chris, thanks a million.
No problem. You're more than welcome, mate. I've enjoyed that.
Good
Did
stuff.
I get aggressive after 35 minutes just for my own
32. I have it here. My lovely assistant says 32 minutes was the air fryer outrage. You called anybody that uses sugar in their tea after about 43 minutes, you called them children, and you've threatened to batter Banana Man. So you've done okay.
All in all, a decent little hour for me there.
Yeah, I think you've done well. I think you've done very well. I think you've both done very well. John, just in a much more mellow way. Chris, in a murderous, aggressive way. But look,
it's been all action, Annie.
All action.
Can't take your eyes off him.
No, all I can say is, Banana Man, you are fucked. Here we go. We're out of here. Bye-bye.